In the US, there are basically at least 4 monoclonal antibody products that are authorized for the treatment of outpatients, so non-hospitalized patients with early enough COVID-19 that antiviral medications are still beneficial. Translating that, though, to India, the couple of monoclonal antibodies that have received authorization from India's regulatory agencies include the Eli Lilly products, which are bamlanivimab and etesevimab, and also the, we call it Regeneron, but the casirivimab imdevimab. And so the distinction there is very important because actually the former, the bamlanivimab or the combination bam-etesevimab, is unlikely actually to have activity against the Delta variant or the Delta plus. And therefore, if monoclonal antibodies are sought in India as a treatment option for high risk but early COVID patients, in that they're in somewhere within their first week of symptom onset, really the focus should be on the casirivimab imdevimab product. This has received authorization in India, as I stated. However, cost may be a substantial hurdle. In the United States, thankfully, these medications remain free for our patients. So for where I practice and where Dr. Arora practices in the Bronx, our patients are extremely poor, and there's a lot of parallels between our community members and those in India. And so a free medication goes extremely far in treating some of the hardest hit communities in the world. However, unfortunately, the system is not such in India. The central government has not purchased and then distributed these doses to various states or municipalities. Rather, the drug company distributors themselves have struck a deal with various distributors on the ground. And so the cost currently to the average patient is something like, I believe, 60,000 rupees. That is according to the paper, the Indian Express, which just released something about monoclonal antibodies, I think the end of June. And so this seems like a rather prohibitive fee for the average family or the average patient. Unfortunately, like steroids, monoclonal antibodies are among probably 4 or 5 life-saving medications. The data now on these agents is very strong. They substantially relieve the burden on hospitals. They keep the sickest patients out of the hospitals to recover at home. If given early enough, they can prevent the need for oxygen therapy. They can prevent the need for hospitalization, and then all the downstream sequelae that Dr. Arora so nicely described. But again, cost is a major hurdle. I'm not sure, honestly, what the US government has done. I've sent many queries as to what they plan to do about distributing our unused doses overseas. But I know that the pharmaceutical companies themselves have distributed several hundreds of thousands of doses of these agents on the ground for use for free, basically. The other agent that I didn't mention is the latest monoclonal antibody. It's actually a monotherapeutic agent. It's called sotruvimab. This one also does show a lot of potential against the Delta variant. We don't yet know about Delta plus. The data still remains to be seen, but GSK, which is the pharmaceutical company in the US, which holds the patent for this drug, is rapidly seeking the authorization process with the central government of India to get this agent as well on the ground. So the bottom line about these is that of the 4 or 5 monoclonals that we have available, only those last 2 are going to be of any use in India against the variant with the mutations that are of concern. And also cost can be quite an issue. But if there's some channel to obtain these pro bono or for free, that really should be sought out, but as it stands now, cost can be quite an issue.